Thanks for having you here with us. This is an unscripted, unrehearsed show, and we're just talking all things inside the den. And I am very glad to have my co-host here.
Yes, sir.
TJ, my assistant, my co-host, real good friend of mine. It's been a couple of weeks since
Since I've been here.
since we've been here with us.
Yeah, man.
He's been taking care of some business, really, for the last few weeks. But glad to have him back in the studio with us. So shoot, man. Today we just gonna just chop it up, and we was talking earlier about the coronavirus and the vaccine and things like that. And you telling me about the first.
Yeah, so my family is big on cruises. We love going on cruises. We love getting everybody together so we can enjoy the water and try to see the world in the most efficient way possible. I was looking, and what it said was, I forgot what name of the cruise line it was, but they actually stopped. Well, they didn't stop the cruise. They made sure everybody on the cruise ship was vaccinated. However, within 72 hours before they got on the actual cruise ship and took out of the port, they had already had 2 people who caught who caught COVID or who had the coronavirus at the end of it.
So, like, what are these people like? They got it standing in line or what?
They don't even know how they got it. So they actually quarantined them. The cruise is still continuing on. They say because of the vaccination, people are less likely to get it, and people are less likely to spread it if they do have it and they are vaccinated.
Well, this is the thing. I saw this on the news a couple of days ago, where they're saying that now, like for the college students, they had some college students that had some issues of some inflammation on the heart after they got the vaccine. It's causing some issues with the heart. So I'm still, like I say, I'm staying as far away from that vaccine as I can. They really haven't, in my opinion, haven't done enough research on that to see what the side effects were, and everybody who's taking it right now are pretty much the guinea pigs.
Yeah, these are the first quote unquote public test subjects of the vaccination. Of course, they run tests in and out of laboratories and whatnot before they ever put it in a human, and then they have trial runs with people who actually volunteer. But this is the first time it's done in mass, like the first time it's done for a massive population. Also, people are now magnetized. Yes, sir. From there's been there was a case where there was about, I don't want to give an exaggerative number. I'll say 5,000 just for my point. People that actually talk to doctors saying, "Hey, I'm magnetized." They put a spoon on their arm, a quarter on their forehead, a nickel and dimes on, and it's stuck. And humans are diamagnetic, meaning we do have a magnetic field, but we don't emulate a magnetic charge. And for them to actually now be able for something metal to stick on them, they have became magnetized.
Is this after the vaccine?
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
That and that's a story from an actual news report. So I'm not trying to.
That's crazy, man. I can say I'm just not 100% sold on that thing, man. It's too much. And now, I'm hearing now that I've seen a couple of commercials where now they're actually paying people.
Yep. To take vaccination.
To get the vaccine. I mean,
$25.
Is it that bad that you got to pay people to take it?
Well, I think it's not the fact that it's that bad. I think they're trying to give you another incentive besides protecting yourself and the people around you.
Look, if it's something like that and somebody got to pay you to protect your neck.
You got to pay somebody, hey, look, I'm going to give you this $25.
You know what I mean?
Keep yourself safe now.
You got to pay somebody to protect their back and their neck from a deadly disease. It's crazy, man.
Man, and I don't think we should be running cruises this year or next year to say it. I still don't think, and this
you think that they're trying to open up too soon?
Absolutely.
They're trying to get back to normal too fast.
Absolutely. That's not even a word, but I'm gonna say it because I mean Oliver and Company, man. When
that's off of Oliver and Company.
Yeah, we movie buffs, man. We movie buffs. But I feel like the world may be moving too fast. Well, America specifically may be moving too fast with the release of most of the states in America now have lifted a whole mass-wide ban.
Yeah.
They've lifted it.
Yeah.
And they haven't even said, hey, this vaccination keeps you 100% safe from this said disease. But we gonna open everything up.
And then what about the booster shots you gotta take?
Well, my family was one of those where, you know, we ain't really doing with them booster shots. The flu and everything. I don't know, man. I'm
talking about the corona vaccine booster shots.
They got a booster shot
like
for the corona.
After you get the second dose, then they send somebody you got to get some booster shots after that.
Oh, so it doesn't. So this vaccination isn't. So it's like a flu shot. Dude, but you got to do it every year, every 6 months.
I don't know, man. It's too much for me to
digest. Hey, man.
They trying to go back to cruises, and they got people still getting sick. People still getting sick from the vaccine, and they ready to go back to normal. And they doing just like the vaccine came out too fast. Mm-hmm. And I said this before. I don't know if I said it on the show, but this is the way I believe they implement doing microchipping and things like that. So here's the thing. In order to get everybody to agree to want to be microchipped, they have to manipulate the people in terms of making sure that they're struggling, make sure they are in fear of something, and then eventually the people will have been so tired and so exhausted of going through this, they would darn near sign up for anything just to return to a sense of normalcy. The sense of normalcy would be we can, and let's just say for the sake of argument, the government say we can turn the corona vaccine off. We can shut it down. But we're gonna need y'all to get chipped. You know how many people are tired of this thing?
You know what? I get what you're saying now. I get the argument. I get it. I get it.
Normal,
I get it.
Turn it off.
I get it.
We'll sign up for anything. But you got to read that small print of what you're signing up for.
Terms and conditions, brother.
It might be, and I'm not saying there's got an actual contract going around, but getting the vaccine could very well mean you get chipped.
Man.
And if you want to go back to normalcy, everybody got to be on one accord. So they're trying to pay people to get the vaccine.
But I've never understood. I never understood how we could, if this country, quote unquote, because we all live here, if this country is supposed to be a Christian country, why would they be okay with making a complete and change to one's DNA in a sense?
Because we have the intelligence
Mm-hmm.
to advance in science and
Math
things
and
like
technology.
that.
Yeah.
I really feel like it's still a level of responsibility to come with that.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. How far is too far?
Yeah. How far is too far to the point where, you're playing God at some point where you want to control the population. You want to control, like you said, people's DNA. You want to control, now they got a new law out. And I forget what state it is, but one of these kids at the graduation, the valedictorian, instead of her doing her regular speech, she started campaigning on the abortion laws now. So now the abortion law in one state, it says that they don't have the right to abort at the moment of
conception.
heartbeat.
Oh wow. Okay, so they got to make their decision before it develops.
And so the young lady was saying, you know what I'm saying? You're not like, you're taking my right away to have this done. So if a woman is raped,
she can't get rid of that.
She has to live with that.
That's unfair.
For the rest of her life.
That's unfair.
And if y'all know what I'm talking about, y'all look it up. But it was a valedictorian, is a Caucasian girl, and she used her. She said she wanted to use her platform for defending what they was doing to whatever state she was in, where they was taking away the women's rights to abort the baby after I forgot how many weeks it is, but it's whenever they develop a heartbeat.
Okay.
And that's kind of like it's really hard to really think about that in terms of, like we just said, how far is too far. You're playing God. Do you want to have the ability to abort something past that time, or do you want to take that completely away from the mother to be able to do that, so that if she is raped or something like that,
she can't do anything about it?
Yeah.
That, and honestly, as a man, I got no right to have that conversation, bro. I know I have access to marriage and relationships. My woman has access to sex, and who she decides is worthy of being brought into this world. I might have a viewpoint, but she is the one who ultimately has to go through it.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
So I completely throw my hands up.
Yeah.
I completely throw my hands up on that conversation and say it's your choice. And
so
just leave it at that.
So in terms of that, how do you feel about, going back to the coronavirus, if you're a conspiracy theorist, you'll believe that the coronavirus or the COVID-19 is manufactured in a lab. And if it's manufactured in a lab, being able to manufacture this and release it to the masses just for the purpose of being able to population control, things like that, and if it gets out of hand, or if it has gotten out of hand, how do you turn the switch off, and what does that make you at that point? What does that make you?
That makes you an evil villain. In layman's terms, it makes you an evil villain. But in a literal term, you trying to play God. Because you're saying I can kill this, that, and the third, or let this, that, and the third live at what I say or what I feel like you should do. And if you don't do ABC, I'll do XYZ. That is giving somebody and having the power to give someone an ultimatum and act on it at your discretion.
It's crazy, man.
that's Thanos.
But
that's
then,
what that
with
is.
that mentality, do you trust the government with the vaccine?
No, I don't.
And then they're gonna pay you to take it.
No. The fact that I gotta pay you for, I'm iffy on it. I'm iffy on it. I do understand why a vaccine is needed. Absolutely. Do I think that one should be created? Yes. Do I think that this is the time to release it? Absolutely not.
See, those are some of the things that come in my mind, when I'm just thinking and meditating and when I'm just off to myself. I really think that, how big of a game is this to some people?
It's not a game for us, the masses, the general population. I'll tell you that.
Or what if everything is connected together? What if the mass killings
Mm-hmm.
and the mass beatings and all that kind of stuff? What if that is all part of the same
Ultimate goal or motive?
part of the same game that they playing? You know what I mean?
Well,
2020 was a year of really. It was almost like a confusing year.
yeah.
If you had to believe
Yeah.
what you seen, then it would be one of them times where your eyes would be literally playing tricks on you.
Mm-hmm.
So the coronavirus started. This is the year of the election year.
The election year.
Me personally, I think that Trump was using it as a way to try to get reelected, but it backfired on him for some reason. And I say that because if the coronavirus hit like a certain level,
Mm-hmm.
they would have had to suspend the election.
This is true.
And by suspending the election, he would have gotten reelected. So it's a movie called Snake Eyes. It's a Nicolas Cage. I think it came out like back in '95 or something like that. And the movie is based off of what you're seeing versus the actual truth. So this prize fighter is in the ring fighting. He had a gambling debt. And he's supposed to be throwing a fight.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of similar to what happened last weekend with Floyd Mayweather, right? So he's supposed to be throwing his fight, right? So
I see what you did there.
he talked to the other boxer and say, look, I'm going to carry the fight for the first few rounds because I'm the champ. And he told him what round that you're going to knock me out. Just make sure it's a
solid, believable.
Believable blow.
Yeah.
Well, and I love telling stories, right?
Yeah.
So they're in the round of the supposed knockout.
Mm-hmm.
The boxer was worried about, opportunity because the guy wasn't throwing believable shots. It's like, come on, guy, throw something.
Hit me.
To make it look real. He was starting to get worried that it was getting close to the round. He was like, man, this dude ain't even making it. He won't even make it look good because it can't just be a mystery. There's got to be something where he done landed a couple of combinations. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You got to build up and then knock out.
I think he must got a signal or something that they get ready to kill him or something happened. And when the boxer goes down, it triggered other things that happen. Like when the boxer goes down, we're gonna rob the safe.
Okay, because it's a distraction to cause. Okay, I got you.
So he gets the word this round, the nod, and he goes in there. He's trying to, at this point, it's choreography.
Yeah. This part is all choreographed.
They trying to find a way to dance in the ring together so that it can be believable. But anyway, the guy threw he swung a wild punch, and the champ was so focused on the deal till he actually
knocked him,
made it seem like he went down, and he was knocked out for the count, right? And while he was down and they were going through the 10 count, somebody fired a shot. And he supposed to be knocked out, but he ended up jumping because he heard the shot.
Oh, wow.
And somebody saw him jump up and try to lay back down like he was sleeping.
Oh, my goodness.
Really, very, very interesting movie. Wow. I love the movie, right? So, who all saw the fight last week?
I was just about to ask you. So, you think they thrown you think he threw the fight?
So, it's a part of the fight where... you and EJ was showing me that it looked like Mayweather had knocked the boy out, but he held him up to keep him from hitting the ground.
Yes.
To keep the fight going, right?
Yes.
That would be like Snake Eyes, right? After they was watching a security tape and they was watching a fight, they saw that the dude never even connected. He was about this far from
hitting them.
But the dude had already like jumped back, and it looked like so he already sold it. So I said all that. I know y'all probably think I'm stuck. I said all that to say this. So here's the snake eyes. I want y'all to pay very close attention to these series of events. The coronavirus hits in March 2020. They said it was a Chinese virus and all this kind of stuff. Banned the travel.
Ban travel and imports of goods
down. And while they doing all of this corona talk, blah 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 blah, all of a sudden, the original Black Lives Matter movement started years ago, so now it was revamped. So they got everybody shut down. The businesses are shut down. You got to have masks everywhere. They started to level 1 reopen back.
In like that in like last year May or something like that, and then they had to shut it right back down.
They opened up a little bit, right? The people out here protesting the Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, during the coronavirus.
Yeah. But everybody was focused on the movement and the riots, and they had stopped focusing on the virus. Why? Because people was getting sicker and sicker, but they wanted to do the snake eyes move where you focusing on the Black Lives Matter. People was out there protesting without masks on.
Right? That's a potential spread.
Protest without masks, and without even knowing it, the numbers went up.
Yeah.
They were so focused on people getting killed that they forgot all about the corona. Matter of fact, the Lil Baby, right? Lil Baby wrote the song, Big Picture. And one of the lines of the song was, "What happened to COVID? Nobody remembers."
That's true. He did say that.
They was out there doing protests, and nobody was even thinking about the coronavirus. The coronavirus wasn't going nowhere. It's just that they were showing you something else. So understand, I said that if the numbers got too high and they couldn't do the vote, they was trying to do the voting through the mail, right?
Yep.
And if Trump had already said that it's gonna be fraud. He already put that bug in the air. It's gonna be fraud.
If you do it through the mail.
The mail-in ballots. He was trying to get to where nobody couldn't go and vote because it's too big of a spread, a risk of spread, and they would have shut the whole election down. He would have got reelected. So what happened was,
how would he get reelected if the election is down?
Well, if the election is suspended, then it's like they would just run him for another 4 years. He would win by default, like if there's no election.
So they wouldn't hold another an immediate recast. They would just dead it and say he's reelected.
Yeah, if they suspend the election, they suspend it until further notice, then he would actually win for another term, and then they would do the election in 4 more years. I think they said it had only been done once, and he was trying to be the second time that they,
Okay.
So like I said, it was all part of a plan to try to get the numbers up, and it almost seemed like they was calling these police departments saying unleash the beast. Because it was like, okay, are you kidding me? You're watching this on TV.
Yeah.
Every department, every police station had to be watching these on TV and say, look, do not go out there and make us look bad. Only to find out that very next day,
somebody out there
doing the same. Come on, man.
Doing the exact same thing.
Come on, man.
I mean, let me ask you this: do you think humans ever learn from their mistakes?
Yes, I do. I do think that humans learn from their own, for a personal.
Okay.
I'm talking about as a whole species.
Let's do both. Let's do both. Let me hear your answer for both.
So, humans are creatures of habit.
Yes, sir.
And we know the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results.
Yes, sir.
But we do know about, you call it evolution, where you evolve based off your circumstances. If I can't get here this way, I'm going to create another way.
And then, to achieve that.
And eventually this way is going to be the new way of doing things. So in terms of, do we ever learn from our mistakes?
To better, to better us. Yeah.
So then you have to really break down whether it was a mistake or whether it was intentional.
And
me personally,
okay.
I don't believe in mistakes.
Intentional mistakes.
I believe in bad decisions.
Okay.
The only mistakes are intentional.
Okay,
I can mistakenly drop this. Or it can fall on mistake. I can attempt to catch it and drop it and say I made a mistake. Didn't make a mistake. I intentionally tried to catch it and I dropped it. That wasn't a mistake. That was just
you think
a failure to
catch the water bottle.
And people can say, "Oh, I made a mistake. I made a mistake." Mistakes, something that happens
instantaneously.
Yes.
Okay, so the mistake is this, boom. But when I make the physical attempt to then try to catch it,
it's not a mistake anymore.
It's a bad decision that I made while trying to catch it.
Yes, because
I got you.
Because you intentionally tried to do something else to counter
that mistake.
And your success or failure is what we call mistakes, but it was an intentional decision
that ended up bad. All right, so let me act. That's a great. That's a great. I like that. I like that proposal. So instead, a better question would be: do you think we as humans learn from our bad decisions?
I believe we do. There was I think it was they do studies with rats and monkeys. They even did a couple of studies with humans where they had put babies in situations and see if the baby can keep, touching the same thing. If when you coming up as a child, you go to the stove, your mama say stove what? Hot. And she let you touch it, so you jump your hand back.
Out of hot.
So the pain of that mistake or the pain of that bad decision will be etched in your brain, and you wouldn't make that same decision again.
Okay.
Even if somebody made you to. It was the monkeys that done the decision. So I don't want to get it wrong, but if you can follow me, help me on the story where they put was it monkeys? They put it in they put some monkeys in a room. Might have been like 5 monkeys. And they closed them into the top. And the monkey that tried to go up, they either they wet the other monkey. They did something to the other monkeys.
I get the experiment though. No, I don't know the specific experiment, but I can get the notion of what was going on. They were basically seeing that if a animal or creature or human or whatever acted in a certain way and they got a result, or they seen that result, they would then do the opposite.
Yes.
Hence slavery, which is why they beat and tortured and maimed to show if you do it this way, this is what you get. So do this.
Yes. And after all of you see that, eventually you don't have to impose the punishment because the others
already
are going to do it for you because they don't want to be punished based off of what they've already seen.
Yep. I get it. And
so eventually they learn from their decisions not to do that again.
Do you think we as a civilization learn not to do our bad decisions? Like as an actual human race?
As a human race, do we learn from our bad decisions? I believe we do. learn from our bad decisions, but I believe that we continue to push the envelope to see how far we can get away.
Okay. Okay.
Because you can't tell me that nobody knows right from wrong, but people will continue doing right from wrong because they want to push the envelope.
Or they will keep continuing to do wrong because wrong ways has the benefit that they want. More oftentimes than not, humans as a whole, we've acted violently, aggressively, and maliciously towards our own race of humans in order to achieve a certain goal that they want. Mm-hmm. And it's been cycled, even through evolution and what you want to go through a caveman species, it's been repeated. And that's what made me ask, because if we say the saying that history repeats itself, mm-hmm. how could we ever learn from our bad decisions?
Well, it's almost like because history will repeat itself, there are different outcomes to the same scenario. Mm. You can call it version 1, you can call it version 2.0. Mm-hmm. I was talking about this game with Caleb, maybe on episode 2, right? Mm-hmm. It's called Until Dawn. It's a game.
Oh, that's okay.
That's one of the worst games I ever played in my life. And the game was you had to make decisions in the mm-hmm. game, and it had a butterfly effect.
Yes, sir.
That when you made that decision, it affected the rest of the game. Mm-hmm. Now you can go back through that game and make a different decision, and it would have a different ending or a different outcome.
Yes, sir.
So and I talked about the same part. One of the parts of it is a stray dog walk up on you. Mm-hmm. And you either feed the dog or shoot the dog away. Now, by feeding the dog goes away, but that dog remembers you fed it. So later on, when you are actually in danger,
and that little dude comes save you,
the dog has a choice to save you or not.
Oh, wow.
So it might be that dog that might be your savior when it comes down to you not feeding him. And you get help, dog, help. The dog say, "Oh, you ain't
shot at me, dog. Get him."
So when you going through even movies, they got movies where you do a time jump or
yes, sir. Ark is a really, really good movie. This man made a literal time machine on accident in the post-apocalyptic world, but every day it would repeat itself. Mm-hmm. And in order to break the loop, they had to figure out how to get themselves out of a certain range of how far that the history the time loop starts. So like say my chair and everything within my chair is when the time loop starts, right? I got to step outside of this circle in order for the time loop to start, but it doesn't affect me. Mm-hmm. They kept having to figure it out. And every single day, the first thing that would happen is 3 people will run in and try to rob and kill them for the scores. And they basically had to figure out a way to execute it while running out to keep them in the time loop as well, but being safe.
Yeah.
Making a different, having a different outcome.
A movie called Parallel, where they got 2 parallel worlds.
Yes, sir.
You can, they will try to make decisions on how to affect the other world. Mm-hmm. So when you say history repeat itself, events in history repeat itself. How you decide to handle those will determine the outcome of the next time that comes around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I do believe that we learn from our mistakes, because when we're given tests and trials in life, we pass those tests. The test comes again. I beat you last time. I could beat you again. This is how I learned from the last time. We're just doing it differently as far as like you have to, go based off the time that you're in.
Then my question would be, if we are trying to do it differently, how come we still end up with the same result of people dying? But aside from natural causes and things that are out of our natural element of control.
That you have to really, really understand that death is inevitable.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Outside of that. Regardless, that is the ultimate boss, and he's still gonna win.
You might be able to change how you die, and all that
when
type
you die,
of stuff.
but
Death itself is inevitable. You have
Facts.
to go through that, and if you understand death in the way that it's supposed to be understood, then it wouldn't be a scary place to be.
Yeah.
Because when Christ left the cross, he defeated death. He went to the pits of hell and preached. He went to heaven. So he was able to conquer death. So we don't have to ever die. That's how he's able to live forever. So if you look at death in terms of being transferred from one realm to the next realm, then you understand that energy
never destroyed. I mean, it's never destroyed. It's only transferred or transmuted.
Exactly. So this is what goes on in the mind of somebody who commits suicide. I can't stand it here. I want to get out. Pulling this trigger will end my life, and I can stop the pain and the suffering.
Yep.
Versus what actually happens. You pull the trigger, your body falls to the ground, but your spirit is still standing there saying, how am I still here? This body, this flesh and blood, this is a suitcase.
This clay, this vessel, yeah.
So, the body dying is not death. It's just a transfer from one realm. I'm in the natural realm 1 second, and the next second I am in the spirit realm. But
or
I'm
metaphysical world.
I am still here. I'm just not in that realm anymore. So, do you actually die? If you can understand that, if you can wrap your mind around that death on this earth is inevitable.
Yeah. Yes.
So keep repeating the same cycles and thinking that, how we keep dying, you're gonna always die.
Well, and I meant in terms of malicious acts of violence towards one another.
And once again, to know about the malicious acts and the intent to cause somebody harm,
right,
as it pertains to a human, one thing has always been consistent is we are fighting spiritual demons with natural weapons. Doesn't mix. And if I can get, biblical, the Bible says we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, spiritual wickedness in high places. There is a spiritual war going on right even as we sitting right here. If you focusing on the flesh, you're gonna miss the spiritual.
But in order to reach understanding of spiritual, you would have to understand the flesh, because that's what's the first thing that your mind immediately focuses on in a practical sense.
In practical, yeah.
And in order to get a spiritual or otherworldly result, you would have to conquer the practical aspect of it first. So my question is, although we have the knowledge that there are battles in higher places on principle, how do we handle it practically when it comes to the clash of flesh?
And that's one of the things we have to continue to pray about. We have to handle these physical battles and the spiritual. The things that we see every day was created by things that we can't see. That in itself is just like the air you breathe. You can't see it, but it keeps you alive. So if you go around looking at everybody's nose to look for the oxygen going into their nose, and you try to fight against the oxygen in their nose, then you're going to be fighting with the wrong weapons.
Yeah.
You have to go, like I say, in the spirit world to fight these natural battles. So let me ask you a question. You think hate is bred or taught?
Hate is taught.
Some people believe that bred. But as a baby, you don't know anything about hate.
Yeah.
You have to be taught hate and love.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So even we talking about the people that run the country with this coronavirus and things that they're doing the Black Lives Matter, all of these things that we're physically fighting against, some people are missing the point. The result is always gonna be death. The fight is always gonna be good versus evil.
True.
It's always gonna be, love versus hate.
True.
Understand what I'm saying? So we have to understand that this is a never-ending cycle. Now, how we choose to decide to handle these situations, some outcomes can be different. But if you're looking to try to preserve life, you'll always get death on this earth.
But preserving life isn't within that immediate vessel, I don't think. You know what if you understand what I mean. When you preserve, prime example, why do humans breed?
Humans breed, well, some of them breed out of recreation.
Regardless of recreation, what is the natural instinct of a human? Why does a human breed? I mean, why does a human breed? Sorry.
To multiply.
To preserve life.
To multiply, preserve life.
It's
to pass on life, to keep it going.
Isn't that preserving? Because you're able to continue that race.
Yes. But everything has an end as it pertains to this earthly realm. The only thing that's forever is the spirit. The spiritual realm. This earthly realm will one day have an end. So you can produce all you want. Like the Bible, they had people living 900 years. Now we're barely getting 70. Actually, look at the difference in 900 and then 70.
Oh, you can see. I mean, that is simple math. Yeah.
So everybody has to go through the cycle of the earthly realm in order to get back to
the spiritual realm. That's understood.
If everybody was living 900 years, how long do you think it takes for Jesus to come back?
I don't know.
So the constant fall of man, the constant bad decisions of man has caused that time to go from 900 years down to 800 to 700 to 600, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we at 70. Barely.
People passing away at 35 and yeah.
Because everybody in heaven still has to be born. And they're coming out at a rapid rate because we're reproducing at a rapid rate. Some of them never even get a chance to see life because of the laws that were put by man, the freaking abortion laws and the wasted, semen that don't even make it to. All those spirits and souls got to come through somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for someone to play God and say or decide how many get to come through and how many don't get to come through, that's a whole nother level of, of dealing with, a higher power.
Yeah.
And to say that you can control, if God has, so many trillions of souls He wants to send through this realm. And in order for him to get all of them through in a certain amount of time, I have to start only giving them so much life on the earth so they can come back. It's almost like, you start off with a show 3 hours. And then in order to get everybody to watch your show, you got to cut it from 3 hours down to 10 minutes. Because people's attention span is
shorter.
So in order to get everybody to guarantee,
your life got to be shorter.
And that's one of my, one of my theories. Not law,
Right. And I hope and I understand this isn't a den, but we already know you had to deal with a problem. So for anybody who takes these things as written laws because we're having a conversation amongst men, it's a tad ridiculous. Understand that trying to run a show first and foremost. Secondly, every human has thoughts. It's just that we're actually opening our thoughts on the platform to get these kind of conversations going within these communities.
Like, you don't have to agree with anything that
Thank
we
you.
say on the show.
Thank you.
And if I had to put a disclaimer, it would say that none of the thoughts and ideas on the show are necessarily mine. Just an idea of how we think as humans.
Thank you.
And because we inside the den, we talking, in the realm of just men being able to unload. There are some things that I think about.
Yep.
And like I said before, those are some of my thoughts when it comes down to the ideology of how we get to where we are now. The question you ask, do we ever learn? I believe we learn. Okay, then why we all end up with death? Because death is inevitable when it comes down to being on Earth.
And these are these are the conversations we would have just on on a regular basis because of the way our mind works. But we want more people to have a deeper thought process than just everything being on the surface, man. It always matters for you to try to expound or expand your mindset, your boundaries, what you're trying to achieve and what you want to achieve before you get off this planet.
Yeah, I mean, and that's really what the ultimate journey is. You're here. What are you going to do with your time? Are you going to, if I know that, like I say, if I know that death on Earth is inevitable,
yes,
then I only have
talk your talk. Yes, sir.
The first episode you said we don't have time to waste.
Time is the most expensive thing a human has on this planet.
So what are you doing with your time? Are you going to be doing things to help somebody or hurt somebody? Love or hate? Evil or good? You have the choices to make. If you're gonna be here, do something. Like Methuselah was the oldest man recorded in the Bible, and the only thing he recorded about Methuselah is that he had kids and he died. Never that he done anything significant with
besides he was just old.
Just reproduce, and then die. I mean, that's not good enough for you to be on the earth with borrowed time, just to not do anything.
Yeah, man. Find a sense of urgency within yourself.
So I asked the question earlier: Is hate? Is it bred or is it taught?
Man, we both know it's taught. Regardless of what. Everything that you see when you're put onto this planet, you don't have any feeling for it unless somebody teaches you how to feel about that. Everything you do has been taught to you before you realize it's been taught. Yeah.
So I mean, it's just one of those. Like I say, it's we have to get to a place of, for one, understanding. For two, knowing your purpose in life. If I know that I'm not supposed to live forever or in this realm,
what am I?
Then it's not going to be strange when one of the hardest things, and this is personal. When I had to really learn, when I really learned how to pray, it's almost like if your mom got sick right now, went to the hospital, and she was on her deathbed, what kind of prayer would you pray? Just naturally.
A prayer of helping me be strong to God My 9 other siblings I have.
What kind of prayer would you pray for your mother?
Let her feel no pain if this is her time to go.
See, most people, Christians, atheists, no matter what background you have, the majority of people, if their loved ones are in the hospital on a deathbed, they are going to pray the most selfish prayer that ever been prayed.
Yes, sir. Yes,
and that
sir.
prayer is to please
keep
my mama alive. Don't let my mama die. Don't let my loved one pass. We need her here. She's the backbone of the family. What we gonna do with our mama? We need mama to survive.
No.
I have heard atheists. Who don't believe in God say, "God, help my mama."
Because I know she believes.
First of all, you don't even believe in God for yourself. But this is the God my mom believes in. Please, if you still there, help my mama. The problem with that is this: people try to make God out to be some kind of genie. Rub him and he get 3 wishes. You better hope them wishes.
Then he just go back in his bottle.
He go back into a bottle or a box. So when Christians pray, Lord, you keep my mama alive. And he decides to take her.
How could you do this?
How can you take my mama? How can you take this little baby? What kind of God allows babies to die? What kind of God take my mom, take my wife, take my husband? And people get into a literal fight with God based off their people either living or dying.
Even though death is inevitable.
Oh, you killed my mom, but you killed my mom, but you let this rapist live.
A ain't got nothing to do with B.
There was a question that was posed to me years ago: is how do Christians lose faith? And after thinking about it, meditating, this is what I came up with. When you pray against the will of God, you're going to lose. When you pray selfishly, you lose. When you don't understand who you're praying to, you lose. When you don't even understand the concept, you lose. So a lot of people lose faith in God because they don't even know how to talk to God. And if they talk to God, they want to blame God for all their problems. Here is the kicker. Your son gets shot and he's on his deathbed and you're asking God to keep him alive, but your son killed 3 people a week prior.
So
how can you
hey
plead?
Man, what is your case?
How can you plead that case to God that to keep your baby alive when the other 3 people was crying about their baby 3? So you have to understand one thing. This is where I really learned how to pray. Before Jesus went to the cross, the Bible says that he prayed in the Garden of Gethsemane. He prayed so hard that he sweat blood. Do you know how hard you have to think and pray about something till it causes you to sweat blood?
No.
So,
no.
This is where the spirit and the flesh had to come to subjection. He prayed the same prayer 3 times. Lord, let this bitter cup pass from me. What was the bitter cup? What was he asking God? Was he asking God to remove me from this cross? Was he asking God to remove this feeling from me? But he prayed the same prayer 3 times. Now we pray for things more than once because we are pleading to God because we trying to get that connection. Like, Lord, I know you hear me.
Mm-hmm.
But Jesus is God in the flesh. And he prayed 3 times. And this is what happened. On the 3rd time, this is why I get excited about when I pray, because I don't leave it to me.
So Jesus,
the 3rd time he prayed, he said, not as I will, but as thy will be done. Meaning that not for my sake, but for your sake. Not for my feelings, for your feelings. So when I pray for people, I don't pray that God keep this person alive or that God, none of that. I'm not about to be mad the next morning when this person died and I have my faith and trust and believe they're going to live. Only way that happens is God says you are to go into this hospital and revive this person. Other than that,
they not going.
I'm not going to pray that this person, because I don't know. I have to find out what God's will is. Once you find out what God's will is, you say, Lord, let your will be done. And just like you said earlier, give me the strength to accept. That's the key word, to accept what your will is. If you can understand that is the most powerful prayer that you can pray for anything.
Yeah.
Then you have something, you have some power behind your prayer. But going there saying, Lord, because I'll guarantee you right now, if you have an 86-year-old grandmother, what else is she supposed to do?
She's lived. That you have first and foremost, you have a grandmother. That means she's still in your life. That means she's then raised 2 generations.
Yeah.
She's then done her duty as a wife and a mother, and it's time to return to her father. So her first father.
So praying to keep her head, she ain't gonna want, even if she had a choice. Even if she had a choice, all right, Marianne, your children are all praying that you come back. I have showed you the glory. Now, you got 2 choices. You can go back down there and get back in your body, and I can wake you up, or you can come to the light and you can start living eternity with me.
And she's the one who's probably been preaching it to the family. So you know what her you know what her decision is going to be. You know what her decision. Yes, God. Don't even finish your sentence. I'm right behind you. Don't even finish your sentence.
And why would you want to come back to this cruel,
this testing ground,
this infested world of hatred and
Hey man, we had luckily for, like we said, most people would have. I had to figure out at an early age, bro. The world don't owe you anything. It doesn't love you. It will never love you. As a man, in order to get anything out of this world, you put your faith in God and in yourself first, and build yourself up.
Okay, what race are you, brother?
Race?
Yeah.
I'm human.
I'm like, I know you Hispanic or Indian or what?
Well, my mom's from Puerto Rico and my dad's from New Mexico, Santa Fe.
Okay.
So what that makes you? Is Spanish or?
American.
Caleb is my engineer.
American.
He's behind the scenes.
More Hispanic,
Yeah, Hispanic American. Yeah, definitely.
I'm asking questions because I know Caleb. He listens to a lot of these conversations.
I do want to hear his opinion as well.
I know he have an opinion about it. One day he's gonna be able to give his opinion.
I really do want to hear him.
Yeah. But here's the thing. This is a question that I have been dealing with for a long time in terms to race and equal opportunity, equal rights, and things like this. Now, like I said before, don't sue me for these doggone thoughts, or don't sue me for these, this conversation, because we inside the den, baby. Live has ended. Okay. Download video. Come hit this button over here and hit on this phone here. Hit this button for me. I don't want to lose that feed. The one that says download video on the bottom. Yeah, download it. You could probably just, okay. I don't know if
then I
that's.
could just restart.
A couple of weeks ago, I was thinking to myself, what are we fighting for?
And,
Equal opportunity.
okay, there we go.
Equal rights. We're fighting for justice. What are we fighting for? Now, couldn't do nothing. Pull the phone out of the case. Some people, some African Americans might say we are fighting for our rights to be equal. Some people might say we're fighting for reparations for being done wrong in the past, and things like that. And I would say this. This is what I would say. What are we fighting for?
I ain't gonna like my answer.
Some, it's fine. Some people,
Depending on it.
some people believe that black is the dominant race. African Americans are a dominant race and things like that. You've heard the stories about,
Civilization and
all that type of stuff, right?
yes, sir.
And this is the part where really, like I said, it has to challenge your thinking, right?
Expound
If you
your mind.
are stronger, if you are smarter than a particular secondary race of people,
Okay.
I'm finna baffle your mind I'm gonna baffle your mind.
Okay.
But the other people that are secondary, they are privileged. So what one race is lacking in privilege, the other race is lacking in strength, right? If you're dominant, if you're original, if you're so-called stronger, what are you fighting to be equal to? If I'm a 10, or if I was born thinking I'm a 10, and I'm comparing myself to a 5, why would I want to drop from a 10 to a 5 to be equal to a 5 just because a 5 has privileges when the 5 don't have the strength of the 10? Why don't you just fight to be who you are
I got
versus
that.
fighting to be equal to something that you feel you're superior to?
It's all about surface value, my brother.
Surface
We
value.
are on a physical place. It is all about everything tangible. Because of that privilege, regardless of your strength, your knowledge, your effort, your efficiency, your effectiveness, you want the privilege because it's tangible.
Once again, I'm gonna use a car analogy. I got 2 Dodge Challengers. If one of them is a Hellcat and the other one is a V6, but the Hellcat is a matte black color. You know what matte black is, right?
Yeah.
And the other one is a gloss black. One of them it would appear to be prettier, right?
Yeah,
One of them
definitely.
have all the bells and whistles, but the one that's a matte black and has the Hellcat, why would I want the Hellcat version to be equal to the pretty one? And he is obviously the stronger, faster, better car.
It's tangible. Again, in that same example, you walk up. We can't say you specifically. Let's take you out of it because you specifically know cars. Well, you know cars a lot better than I do.
I don't know cars, but
I don't know what a Hellcat is. I don't even know what a Hellcat is. So me walking up to a Hellcat matte black and a gloss black V6, same year, same make, same model. Oh, this one's shiny. It's tangible. You don't see the engine first. You don't see the bells and whistles first. You see immediately. And we are visual creatures, so we don't see the bells and whistles. We see this. Ooh, it's shiny. Ooh, it's tangible.
So which brings me to my next train of thought. What if, for the sake of argument, and for all the people that are listening right now, whether you're black or white, rich or poor, what if it's not in God's plans for us to ever get the equal rights that you feel we fight for?
Oh, you know what response that is?
I ask, what are we fighting for? What if, because this is the thing. The Bible says that which is first
is last.
One day will be last.
Mm-hmm.
And that which is last
will one day be first.
So, why would I sacrifice being first in heaven
if you last on earth?
Just so I can be first on earth. Like, if I die last, then guess what? When I wake up in heaven, I'm gonna be first. Why would God switch the narrative and say, I'm gonna let y'all finally get to experience some of this firstness?
Oh my goodness,
so
man.
that whenever you die, you ain't gonna be, come on.
Look, bro, let me tell you, this is no, I'm about to baffle your mind. Everything that we've said for the general population of most people already go against that. That's why. Because not only is it tangible, but it's something they can immediate reward. Again, we just said that they will go against God praying selfishly to keep somebody on earth. So obviously the bigger picture isn't even on their mind. It's unfortunate, but it's really because it's what we can immediately grab right here and now. Because again, a lot of people, well, I really don't know what's going to happen after, and I don't either. But I'm not going to be scared, and I'm not going to try to. I'm not going to try to go against what I can see is already going for me, if that makes sense.
It's been a fight for over 400 years.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to say that history would repeat itself, then knowledge or wisdom would say that if we are free now, then that means that we would be in bondage again.
But are we really free now?
I guess freedom is in the mind of the beholder.
Because modern day slavery to me is still the prison system.
And I would feel that even with that being said, that equal opportunity is in the mind of the beholder.
Mm-hmm.
I told a story last week about me being in prison.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that the system has a way of getting you an unfair share.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that in the last 11 years, I have had to start from scratch. Coming out of prison, starting a life, reinventing myself, going through the trials and tribulations to be able to be where I'm at now, right? There was never a time where I felt like the white man was holding me down. Matter of fact, the first job I got out of prison
was because
because of the white man who gave me a chance to prove myself versus
put you.
You got a felony record. I ain't gonna.
Yeah.
You can't. And it was a job that was very sensitive. Me being able to collect information and things like that, dealing with folks, social security, all that kind of stuff. So if I was dealt a bad hand, I would have let that situation
Take the advantage of you.
take advantage of me, and I would never be able to come out of that hole.
Yup.
That mentality of I'm behind, nobody
out here for me.
You know
I got it.
what I'm
That's
saying?
what stand on your own
So,
10.
not saying that it doesn't exist. I'm just telling you that I didn't let that excuse.
Oh yeah, stop you at
define
any
who I am as a man.
Yeah.
And so when I talk to my young men, I tell them the same thing. Don't let your past dictate your future.
Yes, sir.
There's a reason why when you drive in a car, the front windshield is bigger than the rear view mirror, because where you are going is more important than
when you hit. Yep.
Understand that you have the power to change, whether it's racism, whether it is hatred, whatever it is, you have the power to change that.
In your I
your
agree.
own ability.
I
And
agree.
so
I agree.
When you look at things like what the economy doing right now, and the Black Lives Matter movement, and I say, what if it's not meant for a race of people to really get the equal rights that they feel they deserve?
It'd be, you know what? The thing is that I'm sad to say it fall down to, well, no, it wouldn't fall down to an individual level, because we know the answer. Most of the people wouldn't be able to be okay with that. They wouldn't be able. They would not be able to accept that. They just wouldn't. Just like they can't accept something that you're supposed to understand that. Humans, including myself at times, we have a hard time facing reality and just evidence that's proven fact.
And just think that if we was able to live on this earth forever with the same
Do
crime,
you really want to?
Do you want to live on this playing field?
I want to know what else is out there, Coach.
It'd be like if you read Revelation, you'll know that it is much worse than what we're going through now.
Oh yeah.
If we
stay here,
fail the test and don't make it, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no, I did. I don't know the whole concept, but I have.
Being tormented and chased by a giant freaking scorpion or something like that for the rest of life.
No, I'm good, dog.
Having to be in that type of environment.
That's literally video game. No, I'm good, dude.
If it was another realm out there that say, boom, you were sentenced to a life eternity of being chased by,
fight. Fight. That's all we're gonna tell you to do. That's all it says when you open the door. It just says fight.
So another conversation we had was on the same topic. I'm gonna get back to where we are. Trust me, I'm not lost.
Oh no, neither am I.
If we was ever to get our due and get the equal opportunity that we've been fighting for over 400 years,
no.
And they say, you know what? I'm gonna give everybody African American a check, reparations. Are we ready for change are we ready for that type of responsibility?
No, we still have people that don't even know how to. You can't even be responsible with making the decision of bringing a life onto this planet. No.
Here's the thing.
No. No.
How much would you think reparations is worth?
I haven't put a figure to it. Ballpark, I think if somebody was given 80 to 100K, you should be able to create generational wealth for your family.
So you think 80,000 to 100,000 is enough for reparations for everyone that was ancestors?
No. I'm not saying that's enough. I'm giving a respectable amount for I'm giving
payout value.
I'm giving just a ballpark, a simple ballpark payout value to say what would your responsibility be with just that much. Because if you give somebody more than that, and I'm saying 80 to 100K to try to, all right, so it's not tight, but I got something. You give a whole family that actually went through it 200 to 400, 500,000. What would the typical black family actually do with that? Honestly.
Well, I know what.
Honestly, bro, being brass.
Why I feel so strong about money without education is detrimental to a race of people.
Yes.
And this is the thing. I don't know if Caleb knows, but at the end of slavery, when the president, which was Abraham Lincoln,
yep,
freed the slaves, a lot of the slaves left free, but they had nowhere to go.
Yep, and they went right back.
Small of them went back to their slave owners so they could actually work toward ownership of something.
Yep.
So giving reparations without land to cultivate or without some type of education will be equivalent to freeing slaves without nowhere to go.
That, and thank you.
What are you free from?
That is my point exactly.
You free from getting beat? You free from working for free? But you're free from being worked and being owned as property.
Yes, sir.
Where are you going to go? Because now you are, look, and this is the sad reality. The same land that I've been working on for 30, 40 years.
You got it.
I am now trespassing. Are you kidding me? Caleb.
Oh man,
I raised
that's
three
hilarious.
It's not, but
it's funny because it's sad.
But now, because I'm a free man, I am now
trespassing, and I can be shot on sight.
I have
and survivors can be shot again,
and I don't have anywhere to go.
Thank you, brother. That's my point. What kind of responsibility do we already hold as a community before we even think about reparations?
People will argue with you all day about Black Wall Street. And this is my thing with that. Yes, I would take reparations.
Yes.
But you already know what kind of mind I got. But I'm willing to lower the dollar amount on the reparations.
Right.
If I can get land equal on the other side. Or if I had the resources to start my own Black Wall Street or start a community of education on your level. That if you gave 21-year-old kids $100,000, they're going to buy rims, they're going to buy cars,
jewelry.
They had a guy in the news.
Speak on it.
Who won $30,000 from a lottery ticket. That's ridiculous. And he went and bought a $20,000 chain, Caleb, and had the chain stolen from him. And he was left with $10,000 that he won.
Come on, bro. A $20,000. You could have got you a $2 chain.
I hate to be negative towards my own people,
man,
and hate to judge a book by its cover. But the guy looked like he couldn't even count to 30,000.
If it looked like a duck, smell like a duck, talk like a duck, walk like a duck, what is it, brother?
He won 30 grand and went and bought a 20,000 chain and got it stolen from him, and he was crying.
Nigga, that is not.
That is what would happen if you gave out reparations checks without any type of resources, without any type of education. There will be. It'll be legalized robbery Well, a bunch of jokers will be out robbing each other of their reparations check. I'm gonna give you another story. About 5 years ago,
It's
there was
unfortunate,
a girl
man.
that lived, I think, in Fayetteville or somewhere in North Carolina. She was out with her best friend of 15 years. She had just gotten her tax check, and her friends got her pissy drunk, got her. I'm talking about toe all the way down.
Schmack.
And they beat
That's
the girl
wild.
half to death and took her money. This is her best friend.
Plotting.
Best friend.
But Black Power.
So
The hypocrisy, man.
I'm not against reparations by no means. It's not what I'm saying, black people.
Not what we saying.
I'm not against, you know what I'm saying, being held accountable for what we're doing. Because technically, you know, realistically, I can do without. I mean, I feel, and this might be harsh, but the white man don't owe me anything. I wasn't born during that time. My ancestors, yes, but I'm able to change the narrative of my generation. So I don't feel like. But if you gave it to me, I ain't gonna turn it down.
Exactly. I got you.
But at the same time,
I agree with that. I agree with
Same
that.
time, this is the thing. I would much rather have land. I would much rather have
Resources.
and when my buddy said, well, you can buy land with money. Yes, but if your motive is to become self-sufficient,
Then
your
land.
goal is to have a black Wall Street.
Yes, sir.
Taking the money and spending it on things like rims, cars, and jewelry. In my mind, you're giving it back to the person who gave it to you.
Instead of circulating it within a community that you're creating.
You know what I'm saying?
So that money, if you circulating that money that in the community you created, that money is going back to your pocket. That money is going back into your pocket to put it right back in circulation once again.
So without a now, if you had the land to cultivate, then you can grow your own vegetables, your own food.
Produce.
You can start building your own stores, your
Yes,
own
sir.
businesses, and then you can create a black Wall Street of your own. Versus getting the money and going to buy or if you want the money to turn from green to black, instead of having a green dollar, have a black dollar. It would have to be done on because you really don't own anything, right?
Yeah, no.
You buy a house, pay on it for 30 years. You don't pay that property tax.
It's gone.
You get auctioned off, and somebody can own your house.
Yep.
The dirt that your house is sitting on, if you don't own that dirt, you have to pay taxes on it.
So you might as well take care of your
So
land.
if you don't own the dirt that your house is sitting on, own the field that your cows are eating on.
Yes, sir.
Own the garden that your
Produce and veggies is
growing
going. Yes, sir.
Own the water that your fish are swimming in. That's how you.
That's how you push. That's how you push
That's
forward. Yes, sir.
To me, because had they told the slaves that you are free and every slave gets 40 acres and a mule.
Or plot of land. Everybody get a plot of land.
Then when that same master say, "Get off my land," no problem, sir.
I be over
I got
on
my 40
mine.
acres over here. This is my 40 acres. Or if the president would have said, "You ought to divvy up your land," so the slaves
Between
that's
as
been
shareholders.
then
Yeah.
they are free.
Yeah.
And you can say they really done a good thing by turning us loose because now we can make our
Take
own
this.
thing.
Exactly. And it's
But
crazy, man. That's
giving reparations without education and without anything to call your own, I believe, will be detrimental to people who haven't had money all their life, and they will burn through it. They will destroy it, And eventually,
oh my goodness, man.
Eventually, they'll be asking for
more reparations. Well, what happened to the first one we gave you? Well, we were just being humble and taking what you gave us, but we honestly been thinking, no. What they say on Get Out? No. That's not how it works. That's not how it works, man. I hope we get more education before any. Seeing a man who's never had money with more money than he's ever had in his entire life is a dangerous thing.
Well, that's the problem with some of these rappers out here. When you, and not only rappers, but pro athletes.
Yeah, it's a dangerous thing. You
give them a check, a contract without giving them education, they become millionaires without any type of direction, and they are rich. They're big rich kids, and they buy stuff like
I want that.
They buy stuff like elephant man bones, and lion cubs and monkeys,
and a pet tiger.
They can own something and say, "Oh, this is my pet llama," and end up like
no man. I'm good on all of that. I'm good on it. Like you said, though, I could do without it. I've been, for the past 30 years of my life, I've been finding some kind of way with me, my family, and my people around me to get to where I am today. So, we can continue to push.
Which brings me to my next point. We are exactly 1 week away from Juneteenth, which is Black Independence.
Yep.
June 19th. I was discouraged by the lack of education. A lot of people don't even know about Juneteenth as it relates to Black independence. We celebrate
I'm one of those.
July 4th as a American independence.
Yep.
And I don't know if they're not teaching it in the school system.
No.
But there's a disconnect and a misinformed informational about Black history as it relates to Black independence. The Spanish people have Cinco de Mayo, which is that not, Caleb? Is that not the Spanish Independence Day, right?
No, it's not.
It's not. What is?
That is a day of a very significant battle.
Okay.
Am I Mexico? Yeah. It's the battle of Mexico. I don't know the specific terminology, but I know it's not the Independence Day.
I would be intrigued to know how many Mexicans, or the correct term is how many Spanish Americans know about Cinco de Mayo. Whether it was one battle, or whether it was a whole day, or whether it was a whole movement,
or the independence of Mexico. Yeah.
Ask any Spanish person about Cinco de Mayo. But if you ask Black people about Juneteenth, they don't have no idea.
I was telling Dan earlier. I was telling them earlier, man. I didn't learn about Juneteenth until last year. June 19th, 2020. That is the first time I ever figured out when I was 29 years old, man.
So and that's what we have to. And like I say, as a people,
that's our responsibility.
I told these rappers that was on the show last week, before you go and rap about anything, you can watch the video. Caleb was there. This gonna sound real familiar. Before you can rap about anything, find out who you are. Find out where you came from. Find out where your blood traced back to. So when you are actually talking about something, you're talking about facts.
Yes.
Facts, right?
Yes.
Because that's what's gonna get people to listen to you is
facts. If you can't disagree with it, yeah, okay, I can understand. And it
so we need to learn about ourselves first.
Yes, sir.
And then we can learn about. And I don't want to sound too shabby, but before we know about American independence, find out about your independence. You know what I'm saying? As it pertains to your history, your heritage, and things like that. And I know we have a lot of different viewers on here, and I'm not necessarily talking to, I'm talking to one set of people right now.
Right. But in general, know who you are.
Know who you are so that we talking about these reparations and these, no, and this is the thing. If you don't even know what we're fighting for, why would you accept a check?
That, cause it's money.
Ask these youngsters about
Cause it's
Juneteenth.
money.
Ask these youngsters about reparations.
Brother,
They will cash a check, but they don't even know what the check is for.
brother, half these people don't even know that slavery still affects us today.
But I'm gonna give you one better, TJ. If you accept the check, what if accepting the check means shut the F up?
In terms of what though?
Anything.
So that means now I gotta still be. I actually have to allow you to talk to me any kind of way because you gave me money.
See, this is the part that get money. See, I've talked to you many times about all money ain't what?
All money ain't good money, dog. All money ain't good money, dog.
So the original question was what? What are we fighting for?
What are we fighting for?
What are we fighting for? Because
Are you fighting
I'm
for?
fighting for a check that once I take this check,
Am I cool?
I have to allow you to still do what you want to do to me? Or by me accepting the check, this is the one slap on the wrist that... Because here's the thing. We fighting for equality and equal rights, right?
Right. That's what it's supposed to be.
There's not a black president. We don't have a black this, a black that. You got Barack Obama. Now, whether you believe in Obama or not, whether you believe or stood by Barack Obama or not, he was your
first
American or United States president.
Yes,
we
sir.
Go back in the days and you find out, okay, but we talking about this right now, right? Now you got the one. Shut the up. You probably won't see this again.
That doesn't.
But was he a token Negro to say shut up? You got one, or was he somebody that actually influenced a movement and change in America?
Are you asking?
Sometimes,
Yeah, I mean, but just like with any human, sometimes they do good, sometimes they do bad. Hey, sometimes they don't do nothing.
Sometimes. But can you complain about this again?
Yeah, I feel like you can. Well, no. You know what? Nah, I don't feel like you can complain about anything if you're not doing anything about it. If you're not making an effort to change anything, shut the up. Because you have no room in this. Even if you're doing it in the minimal way. If you're doing something to try to change it in the most minimal way, as in the people around you, your small circle, whatever.
So this is why I'm a conspiracy theorist. There was not enough black folks to get him elected.
Yeah, because even though everybody said they was voting, how many really did vote?
So the white vote got him elected.
Yep.
Once again, did you allow this to happen so that you can come later on down the line and say,
well, you got this?
Or if you know that African Americans are skeptical by nature, understand that these plans are not like 1 or 2 year plans.
No.
These are years. Obama said something while he was in office about the coronavirus.
Really?
Yes. Go back and research it. Like he says, and I don't want to quote him exactly, but he said while he was in office that there may come a day where we're faced with a virus that may be a deadly virus that might last for 3 or 4 years, by signing this bill, we can protect ourselves from the future. This is why he was in office.
But Bill Gates said that. Yeah, Bill Gates has said that as well. He's definitely.
But this is the thing. He gets out of office and Trump comes in, and here comes that virus that he pre-warned about. How can you predict something like that unless you have the recipe to it in your freaking...
I mean, but just like the lottery, you don't know. I mean, I'm not ruling it out. However, I'm not saying that is an absolute fact either, because there's always a duality of a situation.
Yeah, that's true.
So when we speak definitively about worldly things, I kind of get a little hesitant because of me not having enough information.
I speak freely about it because I have seen under the skirt of the chick that calls herself
America. Well, you had firsthand view of it.
She don't have any drawers on, y'all. So rewind the tape. Rewind the tape.
Oh man. Said she don't got no drawers.
Let's gain the trust of the black community by allowing this president to be elected, president of color, after 2 terms. We have gotten that trust, and then here comes the coronavirus and the Black Lives Matter movement, and here we go with this token. Okay, so all the people that's done been, all the police officers that's done been
arrested or reprimanded,
caught beating or killing a black person.
I mean, black people. Yeah.
This guy that killed George Floyd is the token police to satisfy or pacify that, oh, we got, y'all can't say we ain't equal now. We got one for you. But what does that one do? Because the same day he was found guilty on all charges, somebody was dying the same day for the same thing. So is it a win or is it a...
It's a cover.
That's what I'm talking about. So you have certain things that is allowed to calm somebody down, token Negro, token, person for the fall, to take the fall.
What do they call it?
Here comes the motive. Here comes the agenda. The agenda is, let's get these microchips installed. How do we get how do we get black people to trust us, to allow us? And I'm just talking in terms of just what if.
Because I was gonna say, how did the
how do we get the black people to trust us with this vaccine?
What do you
could potentially have a chip in it if they are the hardest to convince? We go through Barack Obama mention it and say this is boom, and then we go through all of this, and now we finna get down as far as paying people to take the shot. Who is the most? Who people that want? Who need? I mean, I ain't gonna say we need it more than anybody, but
no, you right.
The most money hungry people.
We are, and
if we don't bite,
nobody
on
else.
The vaccine hook,
they ain't got nothing. But this is what I'm saying, and it's a sad.
This is a real unfortunate. I didn't think it was gonna turn out like this.
It's a sad and unfortunate truth, but black people as a whole are the most underprivileged, uneducated, to a degree, and so had the least amount of the generational wealth. It's a fact.
And this is the thing: is that a compliment or is that an insult?
That is it is. You know what? It's a fact that's insulting. It's a fact that is insulting. It is an insulting fact. Yes, it is an insult. Absolutely. But it's a fact. So who has to change it?
So
we do.
So it's an insult to you, and this is just me playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Why is it an insult?
It's an insult to me, not in the sense of it being said, in the sense of it being true. In the sense of it being true, meaning that we talk about.
Let me ask you a question.
What's up?
If you was so good at something that people had to cheat to beat you, is that a compliment or insult?
That's a compliment to me.
Why?
Because I've achieved something that you couldn't achieve naturally.
And you have to cheat in order to beat you.
In order not even to beat me, because if you're cheating, you're trying to get at least to where I'm at. That still doesn't mean you're going to beat me. So that's a compliment because you need.
Because even cheating don't guarantee a win, right?
Thank you. That does not guarantee a dub.
All right, so check this out. Based on what you just said.
Yes, sir.
If the black man is superior, the white man has to cheat, belittle, deceive, hoodwink to try to get on your level just to try to win and has not been successful at keeping you down out of the game. Is that a compliment or an insult?
Again, I'm taking that as a compliment.
Well, I know. You said it was an insult a while ago.
No.
I'm telling you that because of the dominance of who you are, the playing fields can never be equal because if we was on equal playing field, domination.
That's not
Almost every time.
That's not disagree. No, I agree with that. But that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's an insult because it's a fact. Because the general population, when you're speaking in generalization, most black people are. That is a fact that we are. It's because they don't know how to use what they already have. That's why it's an insult, because something can be done about it and nothing's being done about it. But I take the fact that I gotta start
at the bottom.
I gotta start right here. You already right here, and by the time
still whooping your tail,
still whooping your behind.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm little Mike.
What I'm saying, like you fighting to be equal, but you're really not.
I'm not. Yeah, and again, it's the mindset of most black people.
Mindset.
I'm not fighting to be equal, my dog. If I'm gonna fight, I'm gonna make sure you know I won with no problem.
Total domination.
Total domination. I got to, because I would be remiss if I don't do it and somebody do it to me. I like that though, man. I do. I like that.
But that's the mentality. That's the mentality that you have to learn to live with. When I talk about perception, is the cup half empty or half full? As a black man, the way I have been able to make it these years,
half full.
I've been able to turn the narrative around and say, well, if they have to fight this hard to keep me down, it's because they can't take me because I'm too good.
So I got it.
So my mentality is different.
Yes, sir.
What most people look at as insult, I look at as compliment. Because I told you before, no one bothers to ask the lion, is he okay?
That's true.
Nobody said, hey, I know you're the king of the jungle. Are you happy or are you sad today?
How's things going with the
king of the jungle as if he got everything under control
at any given moment.
And we've talked about the conversation about the black man and the black mentality. We have to take on the weight of the world. Nobody bothers to see, is the black man, is he okay?
No.
Is that a compliment or an insult? Because I know the Bible says that God won't put no more on you than you're able to bear. That means he has already calculated the load that you're carrying and said, this joker here can handle it.
Matter of fact, he can handle more, and I'll add more when I feel like it.
So is that an insult or a compliment? So all of the negativities in the world that we're insulted by, I look at him and say, you got any more?
Cause I'm gonna keep.
I keep knocking these out like
stomping. I'm gonna keep stomping, dog.
Because I know what I was created for.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't need the handouts. I don't need the reparations. I don't need the charity. I don't need whatever
handouts.
That I don't do without it.
And that's why I agree. You know what?
If everything if everything was to go a different direction and I wasn't able to do what I needed to do, I would still say I have lived
a good life,
a blessed life. If all this came crumbling down and God said, "Okay, your time is up," He pulled the plug. I can't do nothing but say, you know what?
I did my best. I did my best.
I had a good run. I did my best. I had some times that I was happy. I had some uncomfortable times. But I did my best. With what I was given, I done my best. When I go meet my maker, I can say, you did your thing, dog.
I'm happy.
You know you cold blooded, but what you did.
You know what you did, right? you know what you did.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
So I feel the struggle.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
I feel that same struggle when I'm pushing that 300 pounds off my chest. The weight of those plates is what builds
muscle.
If I had it easy, I would get bored with it. It don't build any character if it's easy.
It's not supposed to be.
So when I look at the struggles of my people, I say, yes, we're struggling. But, and this is not for you, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we fighting so hard to be equal to something that we have the power to change and control? All it takes is you to switch your mentality. Is the glass half empty or half full? Are you being complimented or are you being insulted?
Let me ask you this. To answer that question, I just want to ask you this. Why do you think the crab in the mentality, the crab in the bucket mentality is true then? It still applies to. It applies directly to what you're talking about.
The crab in a bucket mentality exists today still because of it goes back to the Underground Railroad.
Mm-hmm.
The Underground Railroad was meant for one slave or slaves to escape to freedom,
to travel to the north.
But what was their job once they got to the north?
Figure it out.
Figure out what?
How to live. Because I don't really know after that, and that's my ignorance showing.
And here's the thing. If I have the blueprint for success, I want you to hear this, Caleb. If I have the blueprint for success and I make it through successfully, and I never go back to save anybody else, what was the purpose of my success?
Ooh.
If I'm not able to help anybody else. So what happened with the Underground Railroad is you had people that was going to get free, educated, and get set up, and they were supposed to go back and grab other people and start the process all over again.
And they left.
But what happened to the one that said, I promise I'm coming back?
I'll be back, y'all.
And then you get lost in the land of Oz with all the oohs and ahs, and this is awesome. And you say, well, I'm not going back there because I didn't work hard. You forget where you came from. So with that being the one that was left behind saying, I'm waiting on my chariot to come, I'm waiting on somebody to come and get me to teach me the same thing, never came. So if I ever get out of here, I ain't never coming back. So now that person that's been waiting for the rescue to come back, he finally makes it through, and he says, what?
I ain't coming back, dog.
Then that's what a crab in a bucket mentality get, because if I ever see that joker again,
it's on sight.
I'm snatching him up. I'm going to pull him back. It's a movie, it's a show called The Underground, or Underground Railroad, where that actually happened. This woman, this dude, went through the Underground Road, got free, went and got educated, and they stayed gone for a long time. End up going back, and because they had been gone so long, they became slaves again because the joker that they was going back to get
said, "There they go, boss.
Yeah,
you left me here too long." But man,
so fast forward to now, that mentality is almost like when the Israelites was free from Egypt.
They
was in the wilderness and they started complaining because we out here fending for ourselves. At least we had 3 meals back at.
Even though I got beat, I got fed.
So they want to go back. They want to go back. So it's like not knowing how to win. You done been losing so long, so you don't know how to win.
You don't know what winning feel like.
You don't know what winning feel like. So when you get a chance to become great, you see that joker up, you saying he should be down here struggling with me, and you pull him back down.
Matter of fact, I got something for his ass
to try to get on top of him. Man, when you get up there, he pulls you, or somebody else pulls you back down. It's that mentality of that. It's that Israelite mentality,
and I think that's the reason why a lot of people want reparations rather than just
working for it.
Yes, sir.
Because if I'm so good at something,
why am I not rewarded for it already?
I will make you pay me. If I do my job so well, you don't have a choice but pay me.
Yes, you're gonna have, thank you. Thank you. You show what you're worth. You show your worth.
That is one of the reasons why when you look at people like James Brown, you look at people like Ray Charles, you look at people like Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was somebody that was so good at his job. The blacks loved him. The whites wanted to be him. But he made them pay him for his work. He made them pay him for his work.
Since a child.
James Brown made them pay him for his work. Ray Charles made them pay him for his work. Forget about my ancestors. If you want me, and I can go as far as say, last weekend, we witnessed Floyd Mayweather retired 5-6 years ago. Caleb, this is the hat trick. I'm retired from boxing. I don't box anymore.
I don't fight no more.
And ask me to get into the ring and pretend like I'm fighting. Come on now, this is a
not real
fight.
Pretend.
I want $100 million just to get in the ring and pretend like I'm fighting. This is entertainment now. We ain't even into boxing no more. We in boxing entertainment.
Yep.
Like, you know what I can do,
but you know what I'm here for.
But the suspense of if I'm gonna do that or not.
This was real.
Snake eyes. I told you like you snake eyes, right?
Reeling you in, baby.
This man hit the dude so hard, the dude went limp. He caught the dude and said, "Don't you mess up my money."
Fall. Get up.
Whisper in his ear.
Get up.
Don't mess up my money. I'm gonna hold you up so we can finish this doggone dance. This is a dance. This is an 8-round dance. It's like the waltz.
He beat that.
It doesn't work without a partner, right?
Right.
This is why I stopped watching wrestling. I came up with Junkyard Dog, Jake the Snake,
WC
Goldberg, Sting, the $1 Million Man, the Honky Tonk Man.
Yeah,
I grew up with wrestling, right?
Yeah, no, I grew up with them too.
Look, the moment I found out that the wrestling was fixed and that they was rehearsing those back and it wasn't real, I lost all interest for it. Because if you'd have told me that from the beginning, I don't mind watching entertainment. I'll watch the ratchet
But you
good
thought
shows,
it was the.
but because I thought it was real, I fell in love with it, and
I did too.
I was hoodwinked when I see that those boys go out there and rehearse that and get paid millions to do it,
And then go
they're
drink with each other.
glorified actors.
And I thought, look, and it messed me up. I'm watching two of my favorite people because they rivals, The Rock and Stone Cold. Stone Cold Steve Austin and Dwayne The Rock Johnson go at it, and then to find out that they boys. As a child, I'm like, they not supposed to be friends.
Yeah.
No.
So to watch that exhibition fight, knowing that man made $100 million to get in there, I said that's a win.
That's a dub. That's an easy dub. That's an easy dub.
So Mayweather said, "You're gonna pay me
untouched
for my worth."
Ooh,
that's all that was about right there.
You're gonna pay me for my time.
Yeah, my time, which is the most valuable.
Yep.
It offers me to get off my couch.
Them ducats need to be in
and spend time entertaining you.
Mm-hmm.
Who probably don't even like me in the beginning. Probably called me an N-word behind my back. Oh, I'll go in there and do this for 8. I'll do this 8-round waltz.
Yo, yeah.
But I want $100 million. Now it's your choice. It's your money. You either pay me
or let it ride.
Pay me.
Pay me or let it ride. But otherwise, I ain't saying not another word.
And Floyd Mayweather got in the ring for an 8-round waltz. And he called it a legalized bank robbery.
But it was.
And to add salt to the wound, he had a police escort to finish it off. If I call this fight a legalized bank robbery, and then I had the police to escort me out of the bank, did I just rob?
Give me my check. Oh yeah, I got robbed with the utmost security. I robbed with the most.
That means that I'm gonna insult you by
taking his money.
But I'm gonna get the police to escort me
because it's my money now.
Yes.
See, and that's
stuff like that.
That's. All I can do is give a round of applause for it. That's plotting and planning.
Because he said that before, when I was, what was his old name?
It wasn't. I don't even remember his old boxing name. Oh.
Google it, so we won't get it wrong.
Yeah. Oh man.
Because he stopped being one and started being Money Mayweather when he was trying to get his money right.
Mm-hmm.
Showtime or Floyd, pretty boy
Floyd Mayweather.
He was pretty boy Floyd Mayweather when he was out there getting his bricks beat. To earn the respect.
And then after
he got the respect, he said, "Let's get my money." So I'm finna be Money Mayweather. It's almost like you shucking and jiving for a buck. But then after you done earned the respect,
it's time for me to get my money. For real.
To get the money.
Yeah, it's time to it's enough shucking and jiving.
So do you do this for the respect, or do you do this for the money? Or do you rap for respect, or you rap for money? Some people rap for the respect of being one of the greatest lyricists alive.
Mm-hmm. And the money just comes.
I believe that Eminem is one of the ones who were rapping in the beginning for the respect.
But have you seen his battles?
Now he's rapping for the money, huh?
Have you seen his battles?
Oh, I've seen his battles.
His old tape battles on Detroit and 8 Mile when not 8 Mile the movie, not 8 Mile the movie. He was actually on a battle circuit in Detroit, Michigan, shredding everybody, men, women, children, teenagers, anybody who was trying to battle him got shredded. That man, he definitely set out for the respect first before the money. Man, this is wild.
It's real wild.
Yeah,
it's real wild because we started out by talking about the coronavirus and how they're trying to open things back so fast. What's their agenda? What's their hidden agenda?
You know what? One of my theories, I believe, may be that they're going to purposely make it worse before it gets better.
Well, things always get worse before they.
Because I don't feel like the corona's
get worse before they get better.
I don't feel like it's reached its absolute worst at this point, though.
No, it hasn't reached the worst yet.
It hasn't. And that's why, again, that's why we say from the beginning, yes, we are opening way too early, in my opinion. But who knows? You know, it might work out. But me having the mindset that I have, or the knowledge from what I've seen, I know it doesn't look too well at this moment. Because cases are still skyrocketing. And then there was a toll I just saw that said half of the adults in America still haven't gotten vaccinated. But they're still trying to push it, so they're going to add another incentive as well.
So why do you think that is?
There's something that even I can't even comprehend, and I'm cool with it.
Over half of the adults have not been vaccinated, and now they're trying to get you with money. Why do you think that is?
It's something. There has to be something big. It has to be something behind the curtain. I don't know what behind the curtain is, but
Jake, I've just explained to you that I've seen under her dress, and she doesn't have any drawers on. Are you still going to hit that or not, Jake?
Huh? I'm not hitting America.
Huh?
I'm not hitting America.
You're not gonna smash the chick without no drawers on, babe? She came to the party asking for you.
No, she came to the party asking for a man. Any man will do.
She came to the party already ready with no drawers on, so it can be an easy in and out.
It's too easy.
Now she's asking
good.
you. Now she's gonna pay you to hit that, huh?
All ain't good. That's that set. It's the same. Jack. Hey,
are you going to jail or you going to go home?
I'm going home. That's why I'm not. I'm going home. That's why I'm not. I'm. My eyes are forward, Mister. I'm not.
Forrest Gump say, I might not be a very smart man, but I do know what love is.
And I know this.
Mama always told me life was like a box of chocolates.
Never know.
You never know what you're gonna get. Janae, why don't you love me?
I'm good. I don't want to be one of them. I don't want to ask that question to Jenny, why don't you love me? That's why I don't care if she got on a skirt or not.
This is one of the reasons why I got out of the military. We're fighting for a country as a black man, fighting for a country who doesn't even respect you. How can you fight for a country who doesn't respect you?
I can't even answer. Black man. But I can't answer that because you can't. You shouldn't. You should. Why would? This is gonna sound harsh. Why be with somebody who beat you? That's a perfect analogy I can think of for that. Why would you do it? It doesn't make sense, right? So why fight?
So here we are, America.
You can put your skirt down. We know you ain't got nothing on up under it. I don't care.
I'm going to take my chances with what I know versus what I see. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
I know a lot of people who haven't walked the walk, who hasn't been able to look under the skirt, to know that there's something fishy about what's going on. When you got to pay me to take a vaccine that you endorsed or created quicker than the disease that you...
Oh, wow. Yeah. That you say has just been affected. Huh. I ain't never seen a vaccine created in less than a year. I will say that. We still got diseases that can't be cured, but we come up with a vaccine, and that's a good proposition. That's a good argument. I don't even have I don't have a logical response to that.
I'm just saying.
Huh?
You want me to believe that this? And this is another thing that I can add to the mix is why I don't trust it. Johnson & Johnson had their version of a one-shot vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
Johnson & Johnson is under investigation for killing people with the talcum powder and the Johnson & Johnson baby products for years. Right?
And why would you...
They shut down the Johnson & Johnson virus or vaccine because that it killed people and it had the potential to kill more people, and they didn't want to risk the chances of it killing any more people.
Oh, wow.
But they refused to shut down a police department for its ability to kill and the potential to kill more.
Bruh. Because
Johnson & Johnson,
guess where that money at? Guess where that money at? That money at J&J. That money ain't in the police department.
But Johnson & Johnson is back on the shelf.
Yeah. That's my point. That's what I'm saying. So they're not gonna they fix the issue with Johnson & Johnson quicker than they're gonna fix the issue with police and civilian lives.
And here's another thing. Since we're talking about that. Monkey see, monkey do.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about a trend.
Or a fad. Yes, sir.
A fad.
Yes, sir.
Every time there's a campaign to save a black life, there's another campaign to save another life. But here's the kicker. Within the same breath that you say Black Lives Matter, you have now made it a law that you can't mess with the Asians. They're not protected because of they had them hate the Asian hate crimes.
To stop Asian hate, yeah.
But they still haven't made a law to protect the black life.
That unfair. Again, it goes back to what we were talking about.
But it's still, not saying it's legal, but it's still legal to kill black men, but it's not legal to harass Asian people.
Hey, look.
But you go a step further to protecting the LG. What's the letters? I don't want to get. What's the letters? LGBTQT.
Or is it QT or TQ? LGBTQ.
I give up.
No disrespect.
LGBTQT. You can go to jail for harassing them.
But you can't go to...
But it's still legal to kill a black man. I'm just saying.
We ain't even talking about harassing. We said kill. We ain't even talking about the simple harassment. We talking about kill.
So it looks like the safest way to live in America for a black man is to be part of the LGBTQ community. That way you're safe. That's right. That is right. You want to live? Join the community. This my day spell. That's right. That's right. You live in America as a black man, you gotta be gay, straight, queer, or any one of those alphabets, and then you can live.
Oh man.
And that's why you have a lot of confusion in 2020. It was a confusion year. You didn't know whether to be black, pro-black, or anti-white. You didn't know whether to get a vaccine or not get a vaccine.
Next week. This is a good topic. You just said it. Being pro-black
or anti-white.
Because you can be pro-black and still support other. That'll be for next week. Because I want to dive into that. I do. I want to dive into that. Because there's a difference.
We are exactly 1 week away from Juneteenth.
Mm-hmm.
We have an excellent event going on next week, the Juneteenth celebration.
Yes, sir.
We're going to be talking about the Black independence. We're going to have a bunch of entrepreneurs out, vendors, selling their products and promoting their businesses. We're going to have food. We're going to have comedy. We're going to have friends and fellowship. And we're trying to bring awareness to the communities.
Yes, sir.
And it's just going to be a good time. If you all can be there with us, you're more than welcome. Do I have a flyer? I have a flyer here.
It'll be located in Selma.
It will be located 203 Oak Street, Selma, North Carolina, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Food, music, art, crafts, local vendors, and education for us, by us. It's a FUBU. Damon John is not going to be there, but it's going to be FUBU.
It's for us, by us.
And it's just going to be a good time, man.
Love to show you.
Some kind of delicious is going to be there.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to the deli sandwiches.
Marable Mommies. The Bomb Creations. Creation by Angus. Total Life Changes.
Yeah.
Vision of OMG. Just Me.
Mm-hmm.
Goddess J Vibes.
Oh my goodness.
Mobile Grillers. Alpha Male.
That's
Imperial Bath Treats.
Sheesh.
Exquisite Brows. And Pink Zebras. Custom made designs. Nutritional supplements. On site.
I didn't know.
Handmade crafts, all that kind of stuff.
That's a lit. We got to turn out.
Spoken word poetry.
Please,
we're gonna have informational. We're gonna probably try to get some dance, dance, something like that.
Man, I'll see what we can do in a week.
Y'all gonna get a chance to witness my stand-up comedy. I'm gonna be doing a comedy routine.
We're gonna have a nice little set.
I'm gonna do a set. I've been working on some jokes.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep it in the lines. We're gonna be talking about a lot of stuff. It's you better see that. But it's going down. That week we're gonna be doing a live interviews at the show at the event. I'll be walking around personally interviewing people at the Juneteenth celebration. Just trying to get an understanding of how people feel and what their reactions are to the thing. We're going to do supposed to be doing a live show that Friday night at about 8 o'clock. It's going to be a little different. And we're going to do another show on Sunday. So we're going to have pretty much 3 shows that week. I'll be working with my engineer, Caleb, to make sure that we can get this stuff recorded. And we might have to do some pre-recordings or whatever, but we will definitely have a live show that Friday and that Saturday.
Oh, good deal. I'm okay. Hey, please look forward to it. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. So
for the ones who are on here right now, we thank y'all for the support. We're still in the baby infant stages of this podcast. I told Caleb we still don't have an identity yet, so we're going to keep recording until we get one. Until we have a bunch of followers, a bunch of likes and subscriptions. We're going to keep doing it. Hey, I'm going to say it every week. Join us, like and subscribe. Inside the Den on YouTube channel. Inside the Den on Twitch. Inside the Den on Facebook. You're gonna keep seeing us. I'm going to keep posting until y'all like it. And then if y'all don't like it, I'm going to keep posting anyway.
Get used to it.
This is just my zone right now. It was a pleasure to sit down and talk. For some of y'all who don't know who this guy is, I started a mentorship program years ago. He started with me January of 2020.
Yes, sir.
Right before the pandemic. And he's been with me ever since. He is my personal assistant. He is the co-host of this show, Inside the Den. He is a lot of things to me. in order to make this thing run the way it runs and to be successful, I have to
Appreciate that, man.
people in places to make this thing happen. And he has been a key element of some things that I've been doing over the last year and a half that has been successful. He is the behind the scenes guy that get a lot of things I need to get done.
That's how I like to operate. Let me just give me a task. Let me execute. I don't need to have my face. Don't need to always be in public.
Yeah. So we actually starting a little, not a book club, but we starting to read some things. And I've challenged all my mentees that's in my circle to start reading these books, Think and Grow Rich. So we're gonna be doing a book discussion on chapter 1.
Yep.
On Wednesday morning, you will see us inside the den. We're gonna be sitting here talking about this book. I'm excited about this book because I actually watched the movie and it had me so anxious I couldn't sleep because I was so anxious about this book. So we got the copy of the book. We're gonna be reading this one and The Secret, Rich Dad Poor Dad, freaking 50 Laws of Power, 48 Laws of Power, 50 Laws of Power. We're gonna be reading How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that one too.
Book. So we're gonna be going through our thing. I'm actually working on my clothing line, Lions Pride Apparel. I'm working on getting my book done finally after 11 years.
That's a journey, brother.
I'm gonna be working on this book to have it ready, and it's gonna be awesome. So we got a lot of things going on inside the den, and you are the ones that's hearing about it first because we inside the den. So clothing line, book. I'm getting my life coaching certificate coming up next couple of weeks. We're gonna start insurance, PHP, people helping people, doing some investments with trading. TJ gonna be training how to trade. So we're gonna be doing a lot of things coming up to try to expand and build some generational wealth to try to break some of these curses that we've been going through.
Yes, sir.
And so that if we never get a chance to receive a reparations check,
we can create our own reparations.
We can create our own reparations and our own stimulus program with what we're doing on the backs of our labor.
Hey,
so
man,
that's what we're working on right now.
Can't nobody get it like we get it, man.
Any final thoughts, man?
Nah, thank y'all for tuning in. Please let us know how y'all feel about some of the topics we've said. We do this to create dialogue. We do this to create dialogue within the community, man. So I'd love it if we hear how you guys actually feel about some of these topics. And who knows, maybe one day you'll be in on the call.
Yeah. So that's our show for today. Thank y'all for joining us Inside the Den. We are live every Saturday. We used to go live at 3 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock. But it's going to be a little bit interesting the next couple of weeks because we got so much material to cover with these different special events. So we'll announce the time. But as it looks right now, next Friday at 8 o'clock, and then Saturday all day, and then Sunday probably. I don't know. We'll come back to you.
We'll see what it is.
But it's gonna be like this for the next couple of weeks. So y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see y'all next week. This your boy Daniel Lyons and Evans signing out. We will see you next time. Peace and have a blessed week.